Hello, I'm Toby Hodges and this is the Nautitech 48 and we are on board for sea trials here for European Yacht of the Year off Palma, Mallorca. And we're in some sort of a wind vacuum here between the rain clouds, but we will hope to find some breeze and hope to get a good sail out there, because this is a yacht I have been excited to sail all year. Why the excitement? Well, if you may remember, if you've watched the videos before, read the magazine, you know the Nautitech 44 Open won the European Yacht of the Year competition 2 years ago, and I was a big fan of the design. Mark Lombard hull shape, and basically they've done one a bit bigger, a bit faster, and I think probably a bit sexier as well, because the lines, when you have that much more waterline length and that much more line in the hull, it's a bit sleeker really. And I think they've done, there's no point me showing you from this angle, but you look at it from the water and it's sailing, I think they've done a really nice job, not just with the coach reef line, but the Lombard special reverse shear line, and integrating the sort of go faster stripe hull windows in there as well. We just had a 180-degree wind shift, so furled the code 0 and just waiting for the fresh breeze under this rain cloud here to come in, and then we will get sailing again, I hope. And you can see probably straight away just from the main out here that this is a powerful cruising yacht. That is a substantial square top mainsail. You can order it with an overlapping genoa or an agenica, or like this with a self-tacking jib and a code 0 on the short bowsprit there. So it also has a few other options you'll notice as well, like these solar panels on the cabin roof, so that's 1800 watts of solar panels. I think if you completely put it flexible panels over this roof, you get to 2100, and you can put a 400 watt glass panel on the davit as well. Well, there's no one in here, I'll show you a quick look at this interior as well. So this is, yeah, the main differences you see over this and the 44 are the volume. It's a similar sort of design and layout. You still have that central bar area, but if those that know the 44 remember the saloon was pretty small. This has a proper table in it. The galley obviously larger in a U shape as well here, and then same again, cockpit table out there. Just a bit more space and a bit more segregation between those spaces. Yeah, other than that, they've done a good job with offering a number of layouts. So there's 6 different configurations on the yacht. I will try and show you some of them, but essentially it takes what they did on the 44 again and sort of improves on it. And this is one of the pleasures of the Nautitech open range, the modern range, these aft helming positions. Direct steering, it's something those sailors coming from monohulls really tend to appreciate as well. So you still get that connection to the water, connection to the increases of wind, traditional weather helm, that sort of thing. So Nautitech and naval architects Mark Lombard looking on him, and Christophe Chedel-Anglais on the interior, just looking on advancing what they did with that 44 in a larger format. So that it's a fast cruiser. You know, you can go anywhere on these sorts of yachts, and but this gives you a good sense of performance and still aft helms, direct steering, You know, we're making 7 knots in 7.5 knots true with a code 0 here. So it's a responsive, enjoyable yacht to sail. Just going through a jibe here. A lot of people on board. Sorry about this. Cameraman from the European Yacht of the Year as well. So these davits can take dinghy up to 3.4 meters with a 15 horsepower. Well, that's the suggested dinghy. I think I'm fighting a losing battle here with this breeze, unfortunately. Keeps clocking round. We have made up to around 7.5 knots. Not far from matching the true wind. We're down to, yeah, true wind speed 5.5, boat speed 5.5. Sailing at around 80 to 90 to the true wind with a code 0. In the fading wind and light off Palma. So yeah, as I mentioned in these aft helm direct steering, it is, you do lose a little bit of visibility there obviously, but you can walk across and see it through the windows easily enough. But yeah, it's, you can tell from as well these sporty curved wheels as well. It's fun, active sailing. They have built on the 44. That was a real success. It won the European Yacht of the Year 2 years ago, and this, yeah, they built 57 of them, and they've now sold 11 of this 48 open this year already. So yeah, a good success story for offshore cruising, really. I wish I could show you a bit more about the performance. I was just chatting to Lionel from Marc Lombard. He said you can, you know, the boat hit 20 knots coming here in the Bay of Biscay, and you can maintain a steady 15 knots without waves, more in waves. And if you fight, what I quite like, I don't know if you see this sort of camber in the reverse shear of the deck, and that's a line, that's a Lombard line, which I really like, that reverse shear. We'll show you it from the sailing pictures. But it's a powerful shape. You know, the reverse shear like this, they started with the Geno Sun Odyssey 349, which they built over 1,000 of, and it's kind of a trademark look now, but I think this Nautitech has done that really, really nicely indeed. 6.5 knots true, 6.5 knots boat speed. Still getting places. So that's pretty cool. Nice puff over just an extra 3 or 4 knots. 11 knots boat speed, and we were up to 10 knots. 12 knots true wind speed, and we were up to 10 knots boat speed. Flat water. That was, really feel the acceleration quickly on it, which means that in these really fluky puffs of wind, you can sail the shifts and enjoy it. That's still 8.5 knots boat speed in 10 knots true wind. See the sheet lead from the winch through those blocks. This one coming up on this turning block. And these ones for the running rigging from the mast here. Quite neat. This forward cockpit area is an option, as in having these cushioned backrested seats here. An option that increasing amount of people are taking. And you only have to sit here to figure out why. Nice deep lockers in there behind these forward cockpit cushions. And the same there on the starboard side as well. Plenty of room with the chain locker and windlass in the middle. And then a big 4-peak for storing your sails and your toys. Well, those that you can fit through the hatch. The traveller mounted here on the aft beam with the davits behind it there. And then you've got stowage in these bench lockers around the cockpit, and some suites. So I'm going to attempt to show you some more of this interior while everyone's outside. And you can see that extra volume you get over the 44. Really, it's a wide boat with a lot of storage space, plenty of seating space, as I say, including this larger saloon, forward-facing nav station, ventilation coming through those windows, and they're good size windows as well. You're not ducking to see the horizon view at all. It's, yeah, I think a really inviting area to come into. Oh, look at that! Closed off that space now, and nice and quiet too. More ventilation here through the opening hatches there. You get a view of your main if you're sitting the watch from the nav station. Puff stool here joining the saloon area, and then yeah, plenty of space around a galley that you can brace at sea if it's pitching around a bit as well. Now, I've not really spent much time in this interior at all. I've poked my nose down both sides, and that's what I'm going to show you, because it's just having a quick sail trial here. You can see there a bank of 3 refrigeration units. Presume you can use one as a freezer. And then the layout I started to talk about before is very adaptable, so 6 different configurations. And quite a lot of that revolves around this. They call that a smart room. But you can have 3 cabins, 3 heads, 4 cabins, 4 heads, 2 cabins, 2 heads, and then there's these, what you can play with the smart utility room layout as well. So I'll try and talk you through that with this smart room on this port side now. So this one is a cabin, an adaptable cabin, let's say. So you have a bench area, something you could use as a home office here. Lovely views out this massive hull window. But this is also a bed, which folds down. And then this is a bed, which folds down and joins this. So you can have it in a small single guise, in a small double format with that down, or even a triple cabin with that one down as well, as a Pullman style one. So I will now show you what I'm going to do. And in there is a little lever to pull out, and there, I wasn't going to do that. That came down a bit too quickly. I'm going to do it slower with this one, pull that out and let it come down slower. Beauty of working one-handed whilst filming. Look at that. This one's coming down a bit slower. There we go. So there we have it. You have a double down there, lee cloth to touch up there, to have a good little passage berth up there, or a kid's berth above that one. Quite clever, I think. And then on that aft bulkhead is a ladder which clips onto there to help you get into that berth, and an escape hatch above. You can see as well how narrow these hulls become, and that's helped get that performance. But really thinking about how to use the boat and giving these options for different bunks in here helps make a lot of use out of narrow forward hulls. And there's stowage space all through these central parts of the hulls as well. So that one, just a little heads on that side and then moving aft. Twin sink. And a proper stand-up shower compartment in there. More stowage, and then a proper double cabin, which would remain, I think I'm right in saying, in all the formats. Again, with a really nice, long, large hull window. One out aft there with the blind closed down. Yeah, good amount of space in this aft cabin, and you'll see on the port side that is the master cabin and can be the owner's hull. Alright, drop down into the port hull now. I'll turn some lights on down here. I found some lights anyway. So this is the owner's hull, and he's shut this sliding door off. Bit of privacy. So obviously this, you wouldn't have the big bathroom area if you had the 4-cabin version. You can have a washer dryer in here as well. There is the ability to have a, look at the size of this shower. Nice. A utility type cabin where you have a laundry and a workroom instead of that smart cabin, basically. His and hers sinks. Yeah, a lot of space here and a lot of natural light and plenty of headroom and ventilation. And then I imagine that's your heads. Yeah. This can also be a space for a washer dryer as well. The larger one would go in there, or a smaller one up forward. You can see they've worked hard at incorporating stowage space wherever, so you get your full hanging cocktail dress space there, and then a shallow height one there, lit as well, which is a nice thing. Nice desk area, and you can bring a stool down from the saloon, slide that out to use it as a home office. More stowage in these lockers. And then, yeah, a big, wide aft berth. And then there's deep stowage below these sole boards as well. Loads in there. That's a good ½ meter deep, maybe more, maybe 70 centimeters. And in this one, that one's a tank, so the tanks are, I think, 600 litres each, water and fuel. More below here, nice and deep, and big drawers below all of that berth. Even more refrigeration space, and the outside beer fridge as well. Yeah, I could go places on this. That drops down to fill in as a bed as well. So as we head back into Palma in the evening light, wind has failed us at last, but yeah, well, a reason that I like these Nautitechs is I can imagine sailing one long distance, like if I could ever have the money. Hang on, while I show you this, let's have a look at these inverted bows. So that is with the engine gunning it now. So we're doing some speed, but you can see ordinarily the first 40 centimeters of the bow is dry. And then as the speed comes up, more of it, less of the bow becomes immersed. So more like a meter is dry. So yeah, again, speaking to Lombard, you get more and more sort of stability as you're going in those higher end, 12 to 18 knot speeds. The bows are coming up, they're not digging into the waves. And you notice that as well just through tacking the boat. The bows are not guiding you because they're dry. The boat tacks really, really easily. It's quite cool. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, reason I like the mix of performance, the fun of sailing it, the ease, the direct feel of it, and yeah, I mean, I'd need some money for this 48 for sure. It starts at 980,000 euros ex-tax. So this boat equipped is basically 1.2, including tacks, which is something I'm afraid I don't think I'll ever have. However, I think it's a great looking boat, and as I say, I can imagine sailing this a lot of distances, no hassle of having dagger boards. It's got fixed keels you can dry out on, only 0.8 meters deep. Wow, it's got a mainsail that goes down very quickly. And yeah, I just think they offer a really good solution between the sort of heavier charter style cats and the performance daggerboard type cats. Anyway, that was a kind of weird sail trial tour, and tried to show you the boat in all sorts of different wind, light wind, no wind, lots of people on board, all a bit odd. Hope you got an impression of it anyway. It's a cool boat, and see you next time.